I've been homeless, let me see, 4 times.
Well,
In my
okay.
New York years, I lived in a rooming house.
Clifton Powell, known for stealing the spotlight in Menace II Society and delivering unforgettable performances in Tyler Perry's films, has been a major force on screen for decades. But his journey goes far beyond his iconic roles. Behind the fame is a story of survival and reinvention, from a tough childhood in D.C. to facing Hollywood scandals, lawsuits, and even a public clash with Spike Lee. And if you're looking for some family drama, his son is dating Sasha Obama. What does it take to navigate Hollywood's highs and lows and still deliver powerhouse performances? Dive into the fascinating, messy, and inspiring life of Clifton Powell. The early life, a tough childhood in Southeast D.C. Clifton Powell, born on March 16, 1956 in Washington, D.C., was destined for greatness from an early age. Growing up in the tough Southeast D.C. area, life was anything but easy. He faced adversity head-on, losing his mother tragically when he was just 4 years old, and growing up with a father who was a functional yet dysfunctional alcoholic. As a result, Clifton had to mature quickly. By the age of 7, he was essentially raising himself, dealing with a babysitter who had rats in her home, and navigating a challenging environment without much adult guidance. Clifton recalls a moment at 6 when he told his father, "If we move, I'm good. I don't need a babysitter." And by the time he was 7, he was taking care of his own needs. However, it wasn't all hardship. Clifton's life changed when his father met Imogene Johnson, a woman who would have a profound impact on his life. Imogene's son, Darryl Harvey, took Clifton under his wing, becoming a mentor and role model when his father was absent. At just 8 years old, Clifton found a protector in Darryl, who was only 17 at the time. Growing up in Mayfair Parkside, a notoriously rough neighborhood, Clifton often sought refuge in the church and the love of teachers who went out of their way to care for him. He spent weekends with his sister, who helped expose him to a better environment, away from the chaos of the streets. Clifton took on the responsibility of raising his sister's children, which added another layer of maturity to his life. He credits these experiences, along with his faith, for helping keep him out of trouble and on a path that led him to success. Reflecting on his childhood, Clifton knows that without the guidance of Darryl and the support of his family and community, he might not have made it out of the hood. He often says that if he hadn't found a way out, he likely would have ended up in jail, as many of his peers did. From football dreams to theater, how acting found him. From an early age, Clifton Powell knew how to command attention and captivate an audience. Growing up in Washington, D.C., he was immersed in a world far removed from the arts. As he recalls, "If you don't grow up in that environment, your world is maybe as big as this room." Life in his neighborhood felt confined, like a bubble, and Clifton had never even seen a play. It wasn't until one day when he stumbled upon a performance that something inside him clicked. "I was like, what was that? They told me that was a play. I thought to myself, I think I could do that." At that moment, he wasn't serious, just messing around. But little did he know, this playful curiosity would set him on a path to stardom. His first taste of acting came when he attended St. Anthony's, a school where they were putting on a production of Lil Abner. Clifton's teacher, a funny, energetic white man known only as Mr. R, recognized something in Clifton that the young boy hadn't yet discovered in himself. "I think I want to do the play," Clifton told him. Back then, many young men from his community didn't pursue the arts, so the idea of Clifton joining the play was a bit of a surprise. But Mr. R put him in the production, unknowingly giving Clifton the first step toward a career that would eventually lead him to Hollywood. Interestingly enough, acting wasn't Clifton's first passion. "I wanted to be a football player," he says. "I never wanted to be an actor. I never had a plan. I never imagined any of this." But sometimes, life has a way of showing you a different path, and Clifton's journey to success was far from an overnight triumph. He worked hard, starting out with small roles in TV shows and films during the 1980s. But it wasn't until 1993 that Clifton's career truly took off. That year, he landed a role in the gritty, critically acclaimed film Menace II Society. His portrayal of Chanty was raw, emotional, and undeniably real. The film, which was as tough as it was thought-provoking, pushed Clifton into the limelight. His performance left a lasting impression, and it was clear that Hollywood was starting to take notice. From that moment, Clifton Powell was on his way to becoming one of the most recognizable faces in the industry. On-set drama, the infamous fist fight with a director. Clifton Powell's path to success in Hollywood has been anything but smooth, filled with struggles and controversies. One of the most infamous moments in his career came in 2004, when an argument on the set of a low-budget film escalated into a full-blown fistfight. Word is, the director had been relentlessly pushing Clifton to redo take after take, and Clifton, not one to back down, had enough. The tension between them boiled over, fists started flying, and security had to intervene. The incident made headlines, and for a while, Clifton was more known for his fiery temper than his undeniable talent. But that was just one chapter in his tumultuous career. In 2013, Clifton faced an even more serious challenge. A woman accused him of sexual assault, claiming that he attacked her in a hotel room. Clifton swiftly denied the allegations, but the damage to his reputation was immediate. "It's been the worst time of my life, Joe," Clifton confessed in a raw interview. "Somebody accused me of raping them or hurting them. I have a 22-year-old daughter. I would never hurt anyone, especially someone I knew for a whole year." The case was eventually settled out of court, but the emotional toll was immense, and it left a lasting scar on his professional image. Clifton continued, "I'm just glad that my fans, my family, TMZ, my attorneys supported me through this whole ordeal. It's been the most emotional thing I've ever gone through since my father died in the 80s. The accusations had a very real impact on his career. He lost work, with some jobs disappearing almost overnight." "Some jobs just went away," Clifton said. "I was working on one show, thought I'd be there for 7 or 8 episodes, but after the second episode, I was gone. People were reading certain sites, and it was like I had already been convicted." As Clifton himself noted, sometimes people have to really do their research. Despite the hardships, he's continued to persevere, using his experiences to rebuild his reputation and career. Clifton Powell's relationship with director Spike Lee was rocky, to say the least. At one point, Clifton had some serious issues with Spike, stemming from both professional frustrations and personal differences. Clifton recalls a time when he was in the studio joking around with radio host Russ Parr, when Russ casually mentioned something about Spike Lee. At first, Clifton wasn't sure what he was talking about, but soon realized the tension between him and the acclaimed director was getting more serious. "You know," I said, "well, honestly, what I really feel," Clifton explained, opening up about the root of the issue. "Spike Lee went and apologized and talked with Tyler Perry. But what my beef was is all the old heads coming out of New York and L.A. Spike wasn't as righteous as he should have been. He had people waiting a long time, didn't always pay people the way they should have been paid." Clifton's frustration wasn't just about business practices, though. What really bothered him was how Spike, as an influential African-American director, would sometimes criticize other black filmmakers in the public eye. "What I didn't like is an African-American man going to the crossover press putting down another black man," Clifton said. Despite the personal and professional beef, Clifton acknowledged that Spike had grown over time, and if given the chance, he would have a conversation with him about it. But through all the drama, Clifton kept his career moving forward. He continued to land roles in Tyler Perry productions, proving his versatility by effortlessly shifting between drama and comedy. In a business where longevity depends on adaptability, Clifton showed he could go from playing tough characters to comedic roles without skipping a beat. "Listen, if the boat leaves and I'm not there, Uncle Luke got lucky tonight," he joked. Perhaps one of his most standout moments came in the biopic R, where he played Jeff Brown alongside Jamie Foxx. The role earned Clifton critical acclaim, further solidifying his reputation as a talented actor who could deliver depth and authenticity, not just another pretty face with a short fuse. Despite the ups and downs, Clifton Powell proved that his hustle was real and his place in Hollywood was secure. He wasn't just there to play a part. He was there to make an impact. Clifton Powell says he was denied film role because of skin tone. In a recent interview, Clifton Powell opened up about some of the harsh realities he faced in Hollywood, revealing how his skin tone once cost him a role. With a career spanning over 30 years, Powell has made his mark as an actor in an industry often known for its discrimination. Despite earning accolades like an NAACP Image Award nomination for his role in Ray, he hasn't been immune to the challenges that come with being a black actor in a tough, sometimes unfair business. During a virtual interview with Robin Ayers, Powell shared some of the obstacles he's faced throughout his career, and how racism has held him back in ways many wouldn't expect. "If y'all knew how many movies I had, people would tell me, 'You should be bigger than you are,'" Powell said, continuing. "Well, if I told you how many times they said I was too black for the role, you wouldn't believe it." Powell recalled one particularly painful experience when he was up for a big role, only to have the network tell the producer, "We think he's so dark he's going to scare everybody." It's a stark reminder of the colorism that continues to persist in the industry. But Powell didn't let these setbacks stop him. Instead, he uses his platform to educate young actors, emphasizing how vital it is to have unwavering faith in yourself to make it in the business. "I take the time with the young people to try and give them all of the stuff that I didn't know," he said, encouraging them to listen and learn from those who've been through it all. And despite some people telling him to stop trying to help everyone, Powell playfully adds that he can't help it because he's a Pisces and comes from the 60s. Family focus, Sasha Obama, fatherhood, and tough lessons. Clifton Powell's personal life has been a complex journey, shaped by both success and deep struggles. He was married to his wife, Kimberly, for over 20 years, an impressive feat by Hollywood standards. But like many relationships in the public eye, their marriage hit rough patches, ultimately unraveling due to Clifton's actions. "I ran around with a bunch of women. I was out of the house 80% of the time," Clifton admitted, acknowledging the toll his behavior took on his family. "We haven't talked about the hard part of my journey," he continued. "My ex-wife would get on me because I never set enough money aside for my kids, so they could have the kind of financial cushion that other nationalities provide their children." Clifton admits that, in hindsight, he could have been a better husband and father. He recognizes that had he listened to his ex-wife more, particularly on financial matters, things might have turned out differently. "If I had just maybe listened to my ex-wife on those areas where I was lacking," he reflected. But then on the flip side, when you become an entertainer and you start to move, it comes with a lot of temptation. The women, the fake friends, people want money, everybody wants something, and you get lost in it. I got lost in it. His behavior spiraled into gambling, excessive spending, and a chaotic lifestyle that led him to lose not just his marriage, but also millions of dollars in the process. "I had a wild life and I hit rock bottom," he confessed. 7 years ago, I was homeless. I lost $5 million in my divorce. I rolled right out of the game. Despite all of this, Clifton takes responsibility for his actions. "I didn't do a great job at it, and I wasn't there for my kids like I should have been." However, he doesn't shy away from acknowledging the one constant in his life, his ex-wife, Kimberly. She remained a steady presence for their children, something Clifton respects deeply. "I have to take my hat off to my ex-wife, Kimberly, who was there all the time," he said. "She's the one who was always there for the kids. We have 2 children together. Their daughter, affectionately known as Pinky, has a personality that Clifton proudly boasts is even funnier than his. She has the suit. Ladies, come here. My friend Craig, this is Moet. His son, Clifton Powell Jr., has followed in his father's footsteps, becoming not only a basketball player but also a writer. Recently, Clifton Powell Jr. has been in the public eye for his relationship with Sasha Obama, the daughter of former President Barack Obama. In June 2022, Clifton Powell, star of Saints and Sinners, appeared on the Dear Fathers podcast with hosts James Meeks and Jesse Alex, where he opened up about his son, Clifton Powell Jr., dating Sasha Obama, the youngest daughter of Barack and Michelle Obama. At the time, the couple had been quietly dating for nearly a year, though their relationship first sparked attention when they were spotted walking together in April 2022. While the couple kept their relationship private, Powell Sr. confirmed that his son and Sasha were indeed an item and expressed his pride in guiding his son through the experience of being in a relationship with such a public figure. I text him all the time and I say, "Treat Sasha like you would want somebody to treat your daughter," Powell shared during the podcast. Despite not sharing photos of himself and Sasha on social media, Powell Jr. and Sasha's relationship was indirectly acknowledged by Michelle Obama, who subtly hinted at it during an April 2022 appearance on The Ellen DeGeneres Show. While she didn't reveal the identity of Sasha's boyfriend, she did confirm that both Sasha and her older sister Malia Obama were seeing people. During the interview, Powell also reflected on his own upbringing, admitting that he hadn't grown up with the best example of how to treat women. As a result, he's made it a priority to teach his son the qualities that he believes are essential in a loving and supportive partner. "I have an opportunity and a responsibility to make my son responsible, gentle, kind, loving, and supportive. The things that I did not get taught," Powell said. Though he didn't go into detail about his own past, it's clear that Powell is committed to ensuring that his son carries those lessons into his relationship with Sasha. As for the current status of the couple, there hasn't been much public information lately. Neither Sasha nor Clifton Jr. have posted about their relationship on social media, and with Sasha's private approach to her life, including no online presence, updates have been scarce. Meanwhile, Sasha is reportedly living in Los Angeles with her sister Malia, who also keeps her personal life out of the public eye. As for Clifton Powell Jr., his Instagram is filled with updates about his creative work, leading many to believe the couple is deliberately keeping their relationship under wraps. Despite the silence from the young couple, Powell Sr. remains proud and occasionally shares his thoughts on their relationship, gushing over his son's connection with Sasha. Clifton's relationship with his other son, however, is strained. "I don't have a great relationship with him," Clifton admitted, "but I tried. I apologized to him. He's never really taken the high road when it comes to me, but I know I did my part to stay in his life." Despite the challenges, Clifton's reflections on his personal life show a man who has tried to make amends, even when it hasn't been easy. While his journey has been filled with ups and downs, the love for his children remains at the center of his heart. Now let's talk about the green honey, money that is. As of 2024, Clifton Powell's net worth is estimated to be around $5 million. Not too shabby for a guy who grew up in D.C., right? But if we're being real, we all know money isn't everything. Clifton's true value lies not just in his bank account, but in the rich body of work he's built and the undeniable impact he's had on the entertainment industry. His journey isn't just about the dollars, it's about the mark he's left on Hollywood. So, what will Clifton Powell be remembered for when the final curtain falls? Well, that's a loaded question because let's be honest. This man's life and career have had more twists and turns than a soap opera. For some, he may be remembered for his controversial moments, the scandals that almost knocked him off course. He's had his share of tough times, accusations, fights, and struggles, but I think the real ones know there's so much more to Clifton than those bumps in the road. What makes Clifton's legacy stand out is his versatility as an actor. He could make you laugh one minute, like in Next Friday when he delivered that unforgettable line, "Hi, I'm G," You must be, say again? You must be P.E. He had that charm that could turn a simple scene into pure comedy gold. But then, just as easily, he could flip the script and have you in tears. Who could forget the heart-wrenching moments in Ray, where Clifton portrayed Jeff Brown alongside Jamie Foxx? That scene when he says, "Can't do this." No, they can't. Still hits hard. It's a perfect example of his ability to pour authenticity into every role, whether he's playing a tough-as-nails criminal or a loving, vulnerable father. "I see my little girl sleeping back there," he said in a memorable moment, reminding us that underneath the hard exterior, there's always a softer side. Clifton's contributions to African-American cinema cannot be overlooked. He's been a part of some of the most important black films of the past 3 decades, including roles that have showcased the diversity of the black experience. Whether in comedy, drama, or action, he's brought characters to life in ways that few actors could. From the early days of Poetic Justice to his standout roles in The Players Club and Tyler Perry's House of Pain, Clifton has left an indelible mark on the culture. Clifton Powell is far from done. Word on the street is that he's got some exciting projects lined up. There's talk of a new series where he'll be playing a retired detective who gets pulled back into the game for one last case. Picture him in that grizzled, no-nonsense role, bringing all his experience to a character who's seen it all. And as if that wasn't enough, rumor has it that Clifton's working on a memoir, a tell-all about his wild ride through Hollywood. You know that book is going to spill all kinds of tea on the highs, the lows, and everything in between. So while Clifton's net worth may be impressive, it's his true impact on the industry and his dedication to his craft that will ensure he's remembered for years to come. What do you think? Do you believe Clifton's controversial moments overshadow his accomplishments, or do you think his impact on the industry speaks for itself? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content on the tragic yet inspiring life of Clifton Powell. Until next time, stay tuned.